Welcome to the first Sponge Buddy Mania episode review. This first episode is none other than Dying for Pie. Season 2 is filled with many gems. Some notable episodes are Sailor Mouth, Graveyard Shift, Christmas Who, and even the Fry Cook games. I could probably throw in Welcome to Chum Bucket on that one. But we're not here to talk about any of those. We're here to talk about what I believe to be one of the most underrated episodes, Dying for Pie. It's no secret that this is my favorite episode ever in the show. From start to finish, it's really just laughter. Facial expressions, list of things to do, even just the jokes in the episode is what makes this one of my favorites. You know, a lot of episodes have great facial expressions and jokes, but the things that are extra special, they write in red. Or just make more lasting impressions in your mind. I also enjoyed how Squidward shows that he really does care about SpongeBob. He may not show it much. Obviously, with those few episodes, it's really nice to see. But he knows that the little yellow guy doesn't mean any harm or foul in annoying him or anybody else in Bikini Bottom. So this is why this is one of my favorite episodes. But there are others who have opinions on this episode. And I've got a few reviews here that I will share with y'all. First up is from an anonymous person. And please excuse the audio quality.
I can't really find a topic to talk about this episode because I don't think it's one of those episodes that, is interesting enough to be talked about. I know it's a good episode. I think it's a great episode even. Well, not great, but it's very good. That's not too bad of a title. But to be honest, I'm really struggling to think about something that I could talk about. Let's start with the plot. It's very simple. The thing about the plot is the characterization inside the writing. It's kind of unorthodox because in these kind of plot lines, usually the cartoon would put the character in Squidward's perspective in a position where they are forced to interact with SpongeBob, so that slowly but surely he gets more annoyed and more angry, and he just went mental in the end. And Squidward kind of did that in the end, but at the start he was kind of, I want to do this because I did something bad, and that is something that is unorthodox in the cartoon world, at least, because it's really something that is different in terms of characterization than other cartoons would do, and I think that's an achievement. I think that's a little bit of an achievement, although most people didn't really notice it. It's really not that special considering that some cartoons would already do that, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, okay. So it can approach Squidward's character in a way that he's more than just a cartoon character. He actually has some human behavior, and well, apart from that, I think the plot is quite simple. I think the jokes really quite stole the show. Mr. Krabs and Squidward shared some brilliant chemistry together. They collaborated really well. They were great. They were great in collaboration. I think Squidward and Mr. Krabs shared a lot of good banter in the 11 years. Joke was kind of great, but SpongeBob and Squidward were kind of off, which made me feel like the humor when they were in the parts where SpongeBob and Squidward does all the fun things in SpongeBob's list. I felt like that part was kind of forced, although it's still very funny. It's still very funny for me, but yeah, I feel like it's kind of forced, to be honest. So, in conclusion, this episode pros it approaches Squidward's character in a good way, and it's really funny. It's got a simple plot. The cons is SpongeBob and Squidward does not share a good chemistry together. I feel like they were kind of forced. It doesn't feel really natural to me. Especially SpongeBob, who seems a little too gleeful, to be honest, although I know that's his character. Also, I forgot to mention about the part before SpongeBob ate the bomb, which was actually the best part of the episode, where they were just sharing some banters, and it was really fun and everything. But yeah, apart from that, there is really nothing to talk about in this episode. Sorry, this is Jay.
Next up is Halibut's review.
Where do I begin with this episode? Yeah, I make it no secret that this is one of my favorite episodes ever. As a matter of fact, I remember it being number 3 on my old top 100 list, but you know what? Right now, I would bump it up to number 2. This episode is perfect in nearly every way. Obviously, a mandatory aspect in reviewing SpongeBob episodes is the humor, because that's a glue that holds everything together, obviously. This is one of those episodes like Shanghai or Crabborg that's just filled with jokes. I'm pretty sure the reason the writers even made up that friendship list sequence was to see how many funny things they could get SpongeBob and Squidward into. This episode does every aspect of humor. It does stuff ranging from deadpan humor to just upright prop gags, and surprisingly, it all works. But let's admit, humor is not the only thing that makes this episode one of the greatest. While this episode pulls off humor like Graveyard Shift, it also pulls off simple emotion and character building like Welcome to the Chump Bucket. Before this episode, and really after, you don't really see Squidward care too much for SpongeBob. Now, in this episode, you can see that Squidward cares for him. Obviously, you can see that Squidward is a bit, annoyed by him, but you can definitely see how Squidward is really never wanting SpongeBob to be hurt. It truly is sad to see Squidward get closer to emotional breakdown by the minute. Squidward may not like SpongeBob, but he is enough of a good person to understand that SpongeBob never means to harm and that he does not deserve to die unhappy. This episode's blend of humor and emotion is nearly perfect, and this truly is one of my favorite SpongeBob episodes of all time.
Well, whether or not you agree with them, you must admit that there are a lot of great jokes in this episode. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode review, Krusty Krab training video.